All right, so now we find ourselves at the maturity stage. For whatever reason, our revenue has leveled off. We're not growing like we used to. Now, what is going through my mind as the owner of a mature company? What's going through my mind now?
Exit strategy.
Might be exit strategy. How do I get out of this business? Yeah.
Yeah, your equity and your net worth would be on my mind, but
Okay. Yeah.
Sustainability.
Sustainability. I don't know. If it's me, I'm trying to figure out how to get back to growth. I kind of liked when we were a growth business. I'm now a mature business. I don't like mature business. It's kind of like being going off to the senior citizen home. I'd kind of like to go back to the fun days when we were growing. How do we get back to growth? That's probably what I find most common in mature companies is how do we get back to growth?
Step out and go to another business.
Or to shift to something different. Yeah.
Diversify.
How about diversify? Try to figure out a way to diversify, which might lead back to growth.
yeah, merger and acquisitions.
Could be an acquisition, yeah. And then how about the fourth stage, decline? A lot of companies found themselves in decline stage this past year. What do you think is the most prominent mindset of an owner of a company in decline stage?
Survivability.
That's exactly what it is. It's how do I survive? How do I make payroll? How do I keep this business together for another week, for another month? It's survival. It's all about survival. So my point is that at every different stage in the business life cycle, there's a different mindset, a different way of thinking for the business owner. Here's something else to think about is that also as we move along this business life cycle, there are different points on this life cycle that it's not at all unusual that growth comes to a halt. Growth, we hit like a ceiling in our growth. And the research indicates that the first growth barrier happens at about $1 million in annual revenue. When a company gets to about $1 million in annual revenue, not unusual that you find yourself hitting a ceiling, a barrier on your growth for whatever reason. Keep in mind that only 4% of all small businesses ever get past $1 million in annual revenue. So if your revenue has exceeded $1 million, welcome to the 4% club. So let's think about what is going on at that $1 million level that causes many companies' growth to stall. What do you think? What's causing that stalling in our growth? What's going on there?
The owner basic expenses are paid and it's not a bad compensation. It's just okay.
Okay. So that could be part of it. What else?
I think other companies in the market are coming in and if competition is increasing because they see your success.
Could be a competitive issue. Yeah, we've gotten people's attention. Maybe they're coming after us. But I want to suggest it's something else. It's a leadership issue.
I think they're afraid of debt.
Could be afraid of taking on debt. Could be. Yeah.
I think the owner is working too much in the business and afraid of hiring new people that is gonna promote that growth.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. It's a leadership issue, and more specifically, it's about delegation. Because as the owner of this company, up to about $1 million in revenue, I've been able to wear multiple hats, right? I'm in charge of sales, I'm in charge of finance, I'm in charge of operations, I'm in charge of marketing, I'm in charge of everything up to a certain point. And I can do that up to a certain point. But there is a level of growth, there's a level of revenue that if I'm not willing to begin to delegate these responsibilities, my chances of future growth decline rapidly. I've got to be willing to give up certain responsibilities. And for many business owners, that's really, really hard because one of the reasons that many people start businesses is because they want that control. They want to have the control over everything. And yet at some point, if I'm not willing to relinquish control, the growth of my business might stall, might hit that ceiling that we've described. So
And
it's
your ceiling, was that $1 million gross or net? Like you said, 4% make up about?
gross revenue,
Gross.
about $1 million in revenue. So if you're at $1 million, you've not seen this barrier yet, just know that it's coming if you're not willing to let go.